Testing, testing. Channeling my inner gentle video. Oh, everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's on the Tube, or welcome back if you're very curious for your, well, if you have a What's on the Tube fix you need to crave. I got another one for you. We're doing another one-off of sorts, continuing the My Hero Academia trend. We are reviewing today the Remedial Course arc and the U.A. Cultural Festival arc that was featured in My Hero Academia Season 4 that, at the time of this recording, is about to sadly wrap up. In Japan, dub-wise, because of the whole COVID delay, they're experiencing some delays as well on their end, so sadly, no dub episodes for a while, so I'm only reviewing the... Well, I watched the stuff subbed as well because I'm a very impatient man, as many people know already. I'm very impatient, so let's get down to it. Let's talk about the arc. I really loved it. I love, like, coming off the Shihasakai arc, which was the last arc before this one, which was, I think, for many fans, the most anticipated one, because it was the biggest one. It was the longest arc in the manga, and it just had some very cool fight scenes, very memorable scenes, and how do you follow that up? Like, you can't really follow up a dark arc with another darker arc, because you're just... It's too much darkness. We need some light and clarity, and thankfully these two arcs continue that. So so let's go through the Remedial Course arc, because that was like a very smaller one. That was like 3 episodes, I believe. Or 2 episodes, like 2 episodes in bulk, a little setup in another one, from what I remember. So that begins. I understand there's a lot of criticism on that, considering the fact when you're following up something as great as Shihasakai, that arc, the arc preceding that or following that is going to be a little bit more like critically. Sorry if I thought I saw a spider there, because I don't have my glasses on because I'm trying something new, trying something. If you guys like it, let me know. If you don't like it, I'll put back on the glasses the next time. So coming off that, going into this, that arc was definitely meant to give Todoroki and Bakugo some screen time, considering the fact they had a very lacking screen time in the last arc, because they're the big three, like them and Deku are the big three. They tendally are in majority of every arc in the past season. So the last arc, the previous arc being just focusing on Deku and all these new characters, and a very small section of the established characters, didn't really give them much screen time, and people missed that. Especially if you're reading the manga, like, you haven't seen them in months. That's crazy. The fact that I remember when I started watching My Hero Academia, and George was pitching me on this, and for me it was like, how the frack do you expect me to believe they're going to manage 20 plus characters on a weekly basis? And they made it work. I don't know how they made it work, but then when you start isolating them, it's great, because like, you get to see these cool scenes with the old people you come to know and love, and these new people you come to eventually start falling in love with. But then you start to miss the older characters, because obviously they couldn't put everyone in there. I mean, that was why the Heroes Rising movie was even released, just to get those moments. But for the Remedial Course arc, it was definitely meant to give back some of the spotlight to them, and kind of ease our way back into like lighter territory with, having these heroes in training, inspiring an even younger generation of kids who also have quirks. And that was just meant for shits and giggles. Let's be completely honest. That whole arc was meant to, like, it's the whole content of the arc. Yes, I understand it was meant to give Todoroki and Bakugo another layer of, like, there's some deeper humanity these two still need to learn about, especially since we got that weird guy who's always loud. I forgot his name. It's the guy with, like, the wind power. I forgot his name. It's a very Yorshi, I believe. I don't know why Yorshi always like, when I was watching season 3, it was like when they were looking at the exam results at the end of that arc. It was like your. I'm sorry if I butchered your ears. I apologize. So jumping into getting to, it was cool to see those characters again, but I really felt like that was more of a setup for a later arc that's going to come down that they're doing in the anime currently, but I don't think they're going to finish it until season 5. Was Endeavor. Oh my god, they're setting him up in such a really cool way that they're still taking the spirit of Endeavor we've known in the first 3 seasons, but we're involving him into a new step. As many people keep forgetting this, All Might is retired. I mean, sure, we're seeing the fissures of his retirement. We haven't seen an earthquake level just yet. Because again, the Shia Hasake thing was kind of a smaller scale criminal organization that didn't require every big name pro hero compared to the League of Villains. It was big in the sense of the characters of the show. This was a major conflict for them, but in the whole scope of the entirety of the rest of the world, this was not that big. I mean, it had the potential to be bigger, but they managed to stop it before it became bigger because of the stakes involved in it. So the point I'm trying to make is that we haven't really necessarily seen the world, we haven't physically seen them fully react to the fact there is no more All Might. He's gone. And who's the number one hero? Obviously, that's the next runner-up is Endeavor. He's number 2. Obviously, a position above opens up. He's going to step in and take over. And while from what I understand later on in the anime, later on, is that no, that's technically not how it works. But whenever that pro hero arc eventually gets adapted fully, I'll talk about it then. But when it comes to in this specific moment, in the time being, yes, Endeavor is the number 1 hero. He is the hero that everyone now is like, oh, we have to look up to him now. The guy that was angry and mad at everyone, who was always a dick. He's our new hero. He's the new symbol. And even for him, it's like, oh, fuck. I didn't want this. Like, he wanted to beat All Might, but he didn't quite understand at the moment we were seeing him with All Might when he was still in his muscular form or his full power state. Like, okay, how do you be the next All Might? Like, yes, you beat All Might. Like, let's say, hypothetically, he beat All Might. Somehow he defeated him finally. He bested him. But now that he has the title, how does that necessarily affect him? Like, how does he proceed with that? Because now there's another moral sense of responsibility. Because the way he got it, we saw briefly on this in season 3, was that this was not the way he wanted to get there. He's being given this. He wanted to earn it. He's being given this. And it's not just that. Like, the public reaction on all of this is also important. Because All Might said it best. Like, the reason why he didn't retire earlier on when we got to see the flashbacks with Night Eye was that the reason why he didn't want to retire after his fight with All For One was he wanted to still show the people there's still a symbol you can look up to. Like, okay, we're going to be fine. He's here. He's going to save the day. Considering the fact All Might retired not because he lost, but because he fought his last battle. I mean, you could say he lost his power. Yes, I understand that. But he fought his last battle. He ended on a high note. He ended on a victory. For Endeavor to just, he has to succeed him. So, and the people need that symbol still. And we know in the context of the story, Deku's going to be the next symbol. Everyone, we know that he's going to be the next symbol. But that gap in between them is going to be Endeavor. If anything else happens in the timeline, which I don't know what's going on with the manga right now. I really don't know. So, for the time being, Endeavor has to be the one to be the hero. He has to be the one to be the next symbol, but he doesn't know how to be that symbol. And that's what this arc shines best. Like, they're showcasing that Endeavor is still struggling. He needs to find, how does he become the symbol, but become a symbol that's not All Might? Because he knows he cannot be All Might. That is not going to happen. And even Deku knows that, and I think what people are saying, like, he's not going to be like All Might. He's going to be like All Might, but not going to be All Might, if you understand that analogy. So that's what this arc did. Like, we're getting the slow beginning seeds of what the next Endeavor is going to be. And I've already seen the first episode of the Pro Hero arc in the end of season 4, and pretty cool so far from what I'm seeing. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this. But they did it very well. The other thing they also like, it's still like it's in that weird like area, like it was in between arcs, so it's like I'm just gonna classify it as the Remedial Course arc. You could technically count it as the culture arc, but I can tell the distinct feel. It's like once a certain character shows up in the next arc, it definitely pounds the thing to another level. Getting to see, I can't stop Twinkling's real name. I forgot his real name, but I'm gonna call him I can't stop Twinkling. Getting to see, like, I've always heard these series when I was watching season 3. Is that when I was watching season 2, like the whole traitor theory, like, oh, maybe it was him because like he's always mysterious, and the way they were like in this episode, they were in that episode that focused on him, like the way they were like showcasing his imagery. It's like, well, maybe he is the true. Maybe there's something sinister to this guy. Like this very weird, eloquent guy could be an evil villain. And no, he was just, kind of a shy person who only doesn't really understand anyone else. And he sees Deku and he's like, oh, this is someone that's kind of like me, but in a different sense. And it was kind of nice and sweet to kind of like give them a real friendship. That was kind of sweet and nice. But the Remedial Course arc was just for laughs, the bulk of it. But it was definitely setting up seeds for the long play. So it was necessary for later arcs, but as its own arc, it was really just to get things back to being fun again. So that was pretty fun. So moving on to the U.A cultural arc. God, did I love it. Like again, a short arc, like 8 episodes, 6, 7 episodes, 8 episodes, I want to say. I forgot how much it was. I'm going to say 6 episodes. Getting to see, again, after the darkness that was Shie Sakai, you need to come back with some light. So why not a concert? Why not have a whole festival showcasing? And this is exactly what I wanted for My Hero Academia. Like I told George this, and for the millionth time I'm saying, I told George this, that I would have been totally fine if My Hero Academia just had filler arcs. Because I love the slice of life format. Just getting to see these characters not focus on being heroes, just being average teenagers in school, but still having their quirks, still having this, like, there's this doom and gloom behind them, but they're trying to have some semblance of, like, peace and fun, even though, like, everything's not entirely going so well, if you really understand why. And this definitely felt like a proper follow-up with the whole Aerie thing. Like, how does Aerie deal with the fallout from Overhaul? Like, Overhaul's gone, but she has no one. She's still consumed with the fainting nightmare that is Overhaul. Like, he's gone, but he's still there, if you know what I mean. And this is why it was definitely imperative for this arc to be paired with the bulk of season 4's arc, the Overhaul arc. It was very imperative because this definitely felt like the second part to this, where we're seeing the aftermath of that. How do we get Aerie to smile? How do we make her have a semblance of her own peace, that Overhaul isn't coming back? He's not going to come back to her life. He's done. We need to make sure she moves on. And that's the perfect time with the whole festival. The festival was fun. And getting to see Gentle Criminal, which, Jesus Christ, the amount of times I said Gentle Video, it's fun. It was a very fun, like, this guy is a very fun villain. He's not even really a villain, because when we got to the flashback part during the big fight scene, it was like, huh, is he really a villain? Because, like, sure, he does criminal acts, because that's his name, Gentle Criminal, but when it comes to, like, his motivations, it's like, he's not really trying to hurt anyone. Like, villains want to hurt people, because they get in their way, but, I mean, Gentle Criminal fought Deku, but it's not, that was, like, his last resort to fight him, and, you know, I'll get to that when we get closer, but, the whole concert setup, and, sorry, I'm jumping back and forth on this, the whole concert setup was pretty fun. It gave Jiro, like, she was a cool character in her own right, but when you're, again, this is the one problem when you have an ensemble cast. There's just too many characters. You can't focus on anyone. So this arc was definitely designed to be her time in the spotlight. It was definitely meant to give her, like, her voice actress, her character, an ability to, like, really shine in the show. And I think they did it very well. Like, the song, I'll get to the song later, but it was nice to see everyone being on the same page for once, and, like, being like, hey, this is what we got to do. You know, we're trying to get everyone's spirits up again. Because, again, after the whole moving into the dorm system, the world losing All Might, it's not really all perfect. It's not a perfect world. It's like kind of what we're living in right now. Like, the world is uncertain. We don't know what's going to happen next. but we still need to have those moments of like, hey, we can have these fun moments, these hilarious, bright moments during this time of like worrisomeness. And I'm gonna drink some tea. I'm sorry, my throat is really killing me. Not before you say anything, I don't have it. It's just I talk a lot, and I was on Fortnite before this, and I'm still playing Fortnite. Oh, delicious. Actually, fun fact, the whole tea thing from Gentle, this is the perfect time to advertise it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Anyway, so back to the whole, I think this is the perfect time to get into Gentle Criminal. Gentle Criminal La Brava. Some of the best characters I've ever seen. They are different. Again, like I said when I was talking about Gentle Criminal, like, these guys are not necessarily bad people. Like, La Brava, I don't think she's bad at all. She's just, like, when we saw brief parts of her origins, it's like, I can relate to this. Like, I never stalked anyone, but I can relate about having people reject you of your personality. It's like, I am so alone in this world. Like, is there even like, before you say anything, I did not get driven to that brief, in the show, like, that brief thought of, like, is La Brava just going to commit suicide? And then she saw the Gentle's video, and she was like, huh, this guy's pretty cool. And then she fell in love with him, and Gentle's pretty chill. Like, there is a random, like, girl that stands in the middle of your doorway, is like, hey, I'm your biggest fan, and I want to help you, like, be the next big, like, superstar. Doesn't necessarily happen, and he just immediately accepts her, like, no problem with that. And the fact that Gentle Criminal is pretty much a YouTuber, like, he is a YouTuber that gets barely any views or just doesn't get the track record he deserves. Like, those videos are well designed. Those are well professionally made videos. He deserves more views. It would have been a really fun marketing play if, like, Toei or whoever is running My Hero Academia just posts, like, random Gentle videos, like, during this time. That would have been a pretty awesome marketing play, but I guess they didn't have time to animate more scenes. So, yeah, they were very different villains. Again, making comparisons to the Overhaul arc. Like, when you go as dark and, like, brutal as Overhaul, you can't really follow up with someone even more brutal. Like, Gentle was like, yes, he's a villain, but he's also not a villain. But he has his own motivations that clashes with Deku's motivations. And that's what gives us the fight scene towards the end. And before I get to that fight scene, it was very sweet to get Deku and Mirio some scenes with Ares showcasing, like, yeah, they saved her, but they haven't necessarily fully saved her yet. She's still being haunted by Overhaul, and with the U.A Cultural Festival being so soon, it's like, this is the perfect opportunity for them to be able to give her that chance to smile again. And the scene where they were showing Ares around again was like, this is perfect for new viewers. Like, they're perfectly explaining, like, this is the inner workings of UA High. This is everything's going on. Like, if for some weird reason, if anyone wants to jump on at that point, like, I could easily understand why, but it's like, you gotta go back. You gotta go back to the start. You're gonna get freaking lost by this point. The Air Force gloves, the new Deku's new equipment, pretty cool feature, pretty cool new gadget. I want to build my own. That's how really cool they look. Like, I want to be able to, like, have that and, like, be able to shoot air bullets. That's very cool. Well, I saw in the movie, so I got spoiled on that. But even the anime did it pretty well. And I don't know why. Like, when I saw the manga image, like, when I was looking around, when I was, like, watching season 3, it was like, Jesus Christ, those things are big. But I was like, oh, that's why. Like, again, context before you want. Like, that's why. Like, it opens up. Like, I didn't know anything about that. So that was cool. And we got to see Deku and All Might interact again, which we haven't seen at all throughout Season 4, which is, again, another side of that Deku is... The thing we saw in Season 3 was that he had to move on from being All Might, because majority of the things he did was, okay, he is the next All Might. He's the next person to wield One for All, so he has to be like All Might. But then when we got to the second half of Season 3, it was like, no, I need to be my own hero, because the more I try to be like All Might, the less I'm making real advancements. He has to be his own hero, which is why he developed the shoot style. But we haven't necessarily seen them have any, interactions, because he wanted to go with Night Eye, then everything else was going on, so he wasn't really focused on that. They're definitely spending less time together, so the whole Air Force training scene was actually gives them a reason, like, hey, I get to see you again on a more daily basis, and that's pretty cool for them to be able to continue building their bond together. And it was great to see Hasume again. She's a pretty fun character. And yeah, so let's get to the Deku versus Gentle fight scene. That was a pretty cool fight scene. Like, it's not the best in the show. It's a really cool fight scene. It's a really good one, but it's not the best. It's not. You can't beat Deku versus Overhaul. You can't. That's pinnacle. For me personally, that's my personal opinion. So when we saw, I think it was the second episode that focused on the fight. That definitely really, like, it was not meant to beat Deku versus Overhaul, but it had emotional stakes because La Brava loved Gentle, and Gentle loved her. They both care about each other. They wanted to see this through, but Deku was in their way. And they knew, like, he's a hero in training. He could beat us. And there were moments like Gentle could have beat him, but, let's be honest, if it had not been for the Air Force gloves, I don't think Deku could have won. Like, the Air Force gloves really helped him out. It really did. But seeing, like, I don't know how this show works with its flashbacks and its fight scene. It just works so well. Like, you're not, like, being stopped a lot, but you're getting the right amount. It's like, it's not really breaking up the flow of the fight, but it's giving, like, the more emotional resonance to these characters, so you root for them. And Gentle's backstory was honestly really tragic. Like, he was a guy who was, like, still upbeat, still confident that I'm going to be a hero, but I'm not the best at anything. And his mom was like, it's like, it kind of reminds me of a lot of other characters, when a lot of hero characters, like, when they have moments of, like, they lost or kind of defeated a little bit, and they're talking to their parents, or someone's like, I'll be fine, don't worry, everything will be fine. It's like, for him, what I was thinking was like, yeah, it's fine, I'm gonna get through this, I'm gonna smile, just don't worry, just keep paying my education, and, I'll make progress, I'll study harder, that sort of thing. But it didn't. He made a mistake, a crucial mistake, got punished for it, and he lost so many years of his life, and it led him down to be, well, if I can't be a hero, I might as well be a villain. And, he's trying to be a gentle criminal, so he's not trying to cause any despair or mayhem, but he is very much, this is what he has left. And having La Brava in his life, like, here's someone who's supporting me, who's someone who cares about me, who loves me, the only person in his life that probably even loved him up to that point. It's like, he needed that to be better, and they worked well together. And also La Brava's like, that's, again, Gentle was the only person in his life that cared about her, that, deeply cared about her. And the fact that he was seeing him fight a hero in training was like, if he loses, it's all over. And when Deku beat him, it's like, oh fuck, like, because, again, it's both the clash of ideals. Like, Deku needs to protect this festival to get Eri to smile, that everyone's hard work doesn't go to waste, and that U.A doesn't get caught in another freaking incident. Because I don't think they said this in the show, but it's like, had Gentle gone into the school, think about it. The public backlash would be enormously negative. Because that's going to showcase, hey, if a freaking low-level criminal can get into the school, what stops the League of Villains? There will be another attack, and all the school has done is just put all the students in one convenient place. That's why Deku was fighting that. But Gentle also has this idea, like, I have nothing else in my life. This is all I have left. I need this as the opportunity to, like, okay, UA is going to get scrutinized, but a lot of people are going to focus on Gentle and say, oh, he's the one who broke through UA. He broke the system. And yeah, so again, clash of ideals. And so, but when Deku beat him, it was like, fuck, La Brava and Gentle are not going to be together anymore. And seeing La Brava, like, trying to punch Deku, but it was like, she's just too weak to affect him. It's like, I feel sorry for her, because, like, she just lost a father figure. Like, she lost it. And then when some of the teachers showed up, it was like, yeah, it's over. It's definitely over. Like, there's no going back. Gentle purposely gave up because, like, there is no running away. He cannot, if he couldn't even beat a freaking hero in training, how the fuck is he going to beat two pro heroes? Come on, be honest. So, seeing their last moments, seeing their last hug, seeing their last tears, it kind of was emotional. I didn't cry, but it was like, I kind of felt bad for them. And even Gentle giving a piece of advice to Deku was like, yeah, this guy is not really a villain, and he's something else. He's something else. And he definitely just gave another piece of, like, another thing Deku has to fight for. And then the concert scene. Oh my god, they did such an amazing job at the concert. Like, I think a lot of people were just expecting to be still images again, and it's like, well, no, they're gonna animate it because they're dedicating an entire episode to it. So it's like, yeah, they did an amazing job. Seeing Aerie smile was like, this is all worth it. This whole season, this is what it's been building for, and it was just perfect. Yeah, the Constantine did well. I can't believe they did Romeo and Juliet, the prisoner Azkaban. No, the prisoner Azkaban, Return of the King. Oh my God. I'm gonna send George that tomorrow. Oh my god, that was so hilarious. And yeah, that was majority of the arc. I mean, we had some very nice moments against some people would say it was the calm after the storm, but it was the calm before the next storm. So it's like, oh god. From what I know about the next couple of arcs, posts, it's like things are gonna get pretty hectic again. So it was very nice for the creator to kind of give these characters a little break. Like, hey, let's just sit back and relax a little bit. Come on, we beat a freaking Yakuza guy. Come on, let's take a break. So I appreciate that. And yeah, I love this arc. This was the perfect follow-up to the Shie Hisaka arc. So 2 thumbs up in my book. And that's going to do it for me, guys. I'm a My Hero Academia fanatic, but I will not be reviewing 2 episodes of the Pro Hero arc and then coming back for the remaining when Season 5 starts up again. Because I kind of know what's going to happen ahead because I read things. And people are saying there's absolutely no freaking way they're going to stuff everything the remaining of this arc in 1 episode. It's impossible. It's not going to happen. They're going to probably go up to this moment, cliffhanger, we come back in Season 5, that's going to be picked up. How will they deal with that? I don't know. I'll figure it out this Saturday when the season finale airs. It's still crazy that I was bitching to George for months. It's like, oh, Season 4 is delayed. We have to wait till October. Like, I need the season now, but it's already over. It's crazy. Like, Season 4 is already over. Like, I was bitching for almost a year about Season 4 is gonna be forever to wait, and now it's already over. It's crazy. I don't even know when Season 5 is. I really don't know. Like, I'm going to say 2021 by this point, so it's going to be another long waiting period. But it'll come back quickly. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. So, again, thank you guys so much for watching. This was What's on the Tube from ActionX. If you want to know what's coming up overall on What's on the Tube, we usually do the Rookie and Nancy Drew and Katie Clean episode reviews every week. But they're currently on hiatus this week, so I was doing some one-off specials. Next time, before the Rookie comes back and we're back to normal for a little bit, we have Big Time Rush series review. That's going to be a very different departure for me, but it's still a musical show, so it still very much fits the theme of musical Saturdays that I've kind of been working with for a while. So yeah, so stay tuned for that. But if you only care about My Hero Academia stuff, I am not your guy for that. Like, I love My Hero Academia, but I cannot compete with everyone else on the internet. They do such a far better job than me doing episode-by-episode breakdown. Like, I would love to do that. It's just, I just don't have any place in my schedule to do it, so just doing the whole arc burst is, like, so much more better for me personally. Because I'm going to probably binge the whole show again when Season 4 ends. Like, binge everything. It's like, it's going to be so much fun. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't for more What's on the Tube from ActionX. Ring the bell for notifications when we have a new episode live. Please like, favorite, share this review if you please. Follow us on social media. And that's going to do for me, guys. So go plus ultra. Peace out.